Okay, I'm going to teach you a lot of different things today. This is how masculine men can get ahead of the majority of modern men leading into 2026. More and more guys are aware of just basic, superficial attraction mechanisms now more than ever, things like looks, money, or status. Today, I'm going to be giving you real life advice to actually become the masculine man that you want to be, and it starts right here. Okay, discipline and dedication will be the root of your character development for your whole life. This is the first thing I want you to know. This is the first thing I want to teach you, okay? Who you are will evolve, and it needs to evolve. So this is what you have to understand is if this is you the first day that you're born, and this is you when you're old and gray, there's a journey you're going to go through. So however you feel right now, you have to understand that if you fast forward 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, you're going to be a different type of person. Let me give you an example. Who you are will evolve, and it needs to evolve. So I'll even show you a picture. This was me at 18. I was a real estate agent. I became a real estate agent at 18 years old, okay? I studied hard for the test. I passed it. I was disciplined. I was dedicated, and I wanted to learn how to sell houses. So that's what I did for a couple of years. Then in my early 20s, I got into bodybuilding. Well, I learned the skill of bodybuilding and building a good body. Well, what happened then? I became a fitness coach because now I had more real life experience when it came to fitness and actually coaching and building my own body. I could help other guys build their own body. Well, then what happened, okay? As I up-leveled my fitness, guess what happens when you look better and you're more aesthetic and you feel better? Obviously, your dating life starts to improve. Well, then guess what? Now, all of a sudden, I can help you guys on this channel like I've been doing with dating, and I built this channel. Everything is an evolution. You evolve into being the type of man that you want to become only if you stay dedicated, which means, yes, it's your job each and every day to put in the work. Nobody can do it for you. You can sit back and eat a bunch of bad food and eat chips and ice cream and then hope that one day the grass is greener and you just wake up and you reach your goals. But I'm sorry, that is not how life works. Every day is a grind. Every day you have to put in the work, and every day you have to develop into who you want to become. So you wake up every day, okay, and you perform no matter how you feel. And this is what I did. I woke up every day and I would just perform no matter how I felt. So even when in self-doubt, okay, when self-doubt creeps in, you do what is hard anyways. Almost every single day when I would wake up, I'd say, I wonder if this is going to work out. I wonder how good this will be. I wonder if things will go as planned. And even times when self-doubt would creep in, I didn't care because you have no choice. That means when self-doubt creeps in, you have to just not listen to that inner voice. You have to turn it off and you have to say, hey, even if I don't feel the best today, I'm going to do what's required. And guess what happens? Women notice, okay, they notice this and they desire to actually stay with you when you have these traits. And the reason being is because you start to ooze dad energy. You start to actually have like dad-like energy or father-like energy. And you become the type of guy where she looks at you and she's like, okay, this is the type of guy who is safe, stable, reliable, dependable. Like, you got to think of it this way. Dating a lot of times leads to one day, if you're with each other long enough, a lot of times it leads to family creation. Well, if a woman is going to actually stay with you, I'm not just talking about you meet her at a party and you two have a great few experiences together. I'm talking about if you want her to actually stay with you, you have to become a man's man. It is very tough because you are going to have to put in the work every single day. This is the first thing that you have to know, okay? Now, once we've addressed this, let's move into my second point. Okay, next, you have to understand that your dating goals will change with time and your development as a man. Okay, let me give you an example. Here's a picture of me when I was very young. It was probably one of my first videos that I made. You can see how young I look. Okay, now here's me from a couple weeks ago with my good friend's newborn. This is me. I went to go see him and his wife, and I saw their kid. Like, it just put things into perspective. Like, I see life differently. Like, as I get older, here's one thing that I've noticed. Like, I care far less about anything that's materialistic. Like, I don't care about houses, cars, looking cool in pictures, looking cool on social media, all of this stuff that most guys chase, okay? What I'm teaching you today is how to adapt core fundamentals into your life to have stronger masculine energy. And that means you do the opposite of what most guys do. As most guys sit here and focus on materialistic things and how cool they look, you're developing the real character traits that actually leads to discipline and success. So with age, I see the power in actually stepping into your real calling okay, your real calling as a man, all of you watching this channel, all of you right now watching this video, all of you have a God-given purpose that you can step into. You have a God-given purpose that you can lean into, and that purpose evolves with time. I just showed you all the different things: real estate, bodybuilding, being a fitness coach, up-leveling my dating life, helping other guys improve their dating life, all the things I learned along the way that I share with you on this channel. Life keeps evolving. So with age, I see the power in stepping into actually who you are. And just because everybody else does things a certain way, you don't have to necessarily do it that way. You can look at what will suit you best. So life, okay, as I get older, for me, I start to look at all of the little things that a lot of guys don't see. Things like family creation, purpose in life, health, faith, well-being, okay, having the right woman by your side. All of these things become really important, because what you'll notice is you're going to start to see guys who end up in shallow, meaningless relationships that don't actually go anywhere. And year by year, you get older, which means the only thing you really can start to structure and prioritize is your time. So keep that in mind, okay? If you just party, okay, none of this is really going to matter, because what you'll notice is that you're in the lifestyle of chasing pleasure. But if you actually want the woman that you're with to desire you and keep desiring you, okay, and you want to retain the interest in the relationship, these things matter. Dedication, discipline, stepping into who you are, finding that purpose, because she has to feel like you're strong, safe, reliable, and dependable. And this is so important to understand. Like, as you age, you will notice things differently. Okay, so understand that your dating goals will change with time, depending on how old you are, which means you need to take an outside look at your own life right now and say, okay, where am I at my stage in my own character development as a man? This is important to understand. Now, the next thing we have to talk about, okay, how do you actually look, feel, and perform better than most men? How do you do this? How do you look better, feel better, and perform better? Perform better in all areas in life. This is important to understand. Guess what happens? You can look better, feel better, perform better than most men simply by getting back to the basics of what actual good health and a good mindset is. If you do just the basics, you're sleeping 8 hours a night, you're not drinking, you're not eating a bunch of junk food, you have your diet dialed in, you have good workouts, you're following your God-given purpose daily, or let's say you're not filling your mind, okay, with wasted time constantly checking social media or watching a bunch of movies or playing a bunch of video games. Just this alone, just these things alone right here in this list, you now have a recipe for basically having six-pack abs, potentially a girlfriend, potentially financial stability, happiness, okay, even potentially a family one day, all because you focus on good character traits and the fundamentals and the basics of having a good life. You actually did what's required. You have all of these boxes checked. Well, when you have all these boxes checked, things start to work in your favor. But this takes critical thinking, okay, and this actually takes you looking at life differently and evaluating your life, and you say, hey, where am I failing? Okay? Am I eating junk food? Am I not sleeping? Am I partying too much? All of these things matter. So this is what I can tell you, okay? Most men, okay, if you actually look at their life, they're full of sugar, they're drinking too much, they have no sleep from partying, and then they sit and wonder why either their life's a mess, or why they're not where they want to be in life, or why they're not attractive to more women, or why they don't have a girlfriend. Like, all this stuff matters. Now, when you do the things that I'm talking about right here and you start to get your life together, what you're going to notice is that women follow value. You have to understand that women follow value. So listen close, okay? I've yet to meet a man who prioritizes himself, works hard, okay, has good beliefs, sets himself up for a good financial future, builds an amazing body in the gym, doesn't give up and fall into stagnation or fall into passive behavior where he's just laying on the couch all the time. I've yet to meet a man who does all these things and fails to attract a woman, get a girlfriend, okay, or be desirable, or at minimum, at least figure out how to do this. Because you have to look at your life this way, okay? If you look at all these things, if you understand how to prioritize yourself, work hard, have good beliefs, set yourself up financially, build a great body in the gym, not give up and fall into stagnation, if you can figure out how to do all of that, you can figure out how to learn, understand, and master the language of women. You can start to learn and figure out how to actually get a girlfriend. You can start to learn and understand how to have a great dating life. But it takes you actually looking at your life as a whole, because this is what I can tell you. The truth is that when I see, okay, what most men prioritize, it is going to be all of the things, okay, that leads to no return on investment in their own life. ROI, return on investment. They're not getting a return on where they're putting their time. If you spend your time watching sports and eating bad food and all this stuff, sure, you might feel good in the moment because it's pleasurable or it's relaxing, but you're not going to get a return on your time, a return on the time that you're investing into those things. And if you want a good future ahead of you, you have to do what's required. And that means prioritizing good daily habits. So what you're going to find is a lot of times guys don't have dating issues. They have personal issues or personal problems that reflects in their dating life. Guys don't have dating problems. They have personal problems that reflects in their dating life. If you can remember that, you can finally start to look at things from the outside in, and you can actually make adjustments to get ahead quicker. So listen close, okay? Where life pulls you in and drains you of your time and creates a situation where you get nowhere is what you have to be aware of. You have to be aware of where life pulls you in and you're spending time doing these things, but you're not getting anywhere. So let me give you an example. When I see guys not having success with women, they usually have personal problems in their day-to-day life that reflects in their fitness, their well-being, and their finances that ultimately will start to reflect in their dating life, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So listen close. Most guys, if you look at their life, somehow they have time for fantasy football, and they have time for sports, and they have time for movies, and they have time for pets, and they have time trying all these new restaurants and going out and drinking, and they have time for video games, but they just can't find the time to actually be disciplined in anything that will eventually lead himself to actually getting success in the areas that he wants. It's like how you do one thing is how you do everything. So keep that in mind. This is how you start to get ahead in 2026 leading into the new year. I know that we're still a couple months away, but if you start planning your life right here and you say, okay, number one, I understand that it's my job to build a good routine and to figure out how to be disciplined and understand that my life is an ever-evolving journey. Then from there, you can analyze step 2 right here. Okay, where am I at in my own dating life? Are you the type of guy where you just need a few dates to get some experience? Are you getting older and you're actually looking to potentially build a family? Like, what are you trying to do? This is important. This is the second thing you can start to look at. Then from there, number 3, to start to get ahead in 2026, you say, hey, if I want to look, feel, and perform better than most guys, I need to really understand and look at my life and say, hey, am I at least doing the basics? Do I have my sleep dialed in? Do I have my fitness dialed in? My nutrition dialed in? Get yourself dialed in, okay? From there, now you have to understand that women follow value, which means you prioritize yourself to build yourself into a man who's valuable and strong. From there, guess what? You start to cut out all of the things that are leading you to a passive life where you're just sitting there in pleasure, enjoying sports, enjoying movies, enjoying video games, and you actually say, hey, where can I actually build myself to give me a return on investment? If you can do that, you can win at almost anything because you're actually doing what's required. At this point in the video, I advise you to learn, understand, and master the language of women. I created an entire community to help you do this. I give you step-by-step processes that you can actually use in your dating life. So be sure to check that out after today's video is over. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.